Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into something that touches all of us at some point in life: heartache. Whether it's a breakup, the loss of a close friend, or a family dispute, emotional pain can often feel like an unending cycle. We go through periods of hurt, healing, and then sometimes find ourselves in the same painful situation again. The good news is, you don't have to remain stuck in this cycle. Breaking free is not only possible, but it's also the key to building stronger, more fulfilling relationships with ourselves and others. In today's video, we are going to discover 7 secret tips that can help you break the cycle of heartache, all while embracing and learning from the emotions that come with it. Emotions, while often overwhelming, hold the key to our growth. They don't need to be our enemy. In fact, the more we understand and manage our emotions, the more equipped we become to move beyond the hurt and build healthier, happier lives. To guide us along this journey, we'll turn to the timeless wisdom of 2 of the greatest Stoic philosophers, Seneca and Marcus Aurelius. Their writings on emotional resilience and personal growth are as relevant today as they were centuries ago. They teach us how to turn pain into progress and use our emotional challenges to strengthen our character. By the end of this video, I hope you'll feel empowered to take control of your emotions and break free from the cycle of heartache. Now, you might be wondering, why does heartache feel like such a repeating pattern? It's because often, when we experience pain, we get trapped in our emotions and begin to repeat the same cycles, whether in relationships or personal growth. We get stuck in negative thought patterns, blaming ourselves or others, and this only keeps the heartache going. The key to breaking this cycle lies in how we approach our emotions. Instead of allowing negative emotions to consume us, we need to learn how to understand and release them, rather than suppressing them or allowing them to define us. That's where Seneca's idea of emotional control comes in. He taught us that while we can't avoid pain, we can control how we respond to it. In fact, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, Seneca wrote. This means that much of our emotional pain is magnified by our thoughts and the stories we tell ourselves. By changing how we think about the pain, we can change our experience of it. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher, believed that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. What does that mean for heartache? It means that the way we think about our pain plays a huge role in whether we remain stuck in it or move past it. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that we can choose our mindset and shift the way we respond to emotional challenges, leading us toward greater peace and resilience. So friends, as we dive into these 7 secret tips, remember, breaking the cycle of heartache is a process. It's about understanding your emotions, learning from them, and growing stronger in the process. These tips are not just theoretical, they're practical, actionable steps you can take to embrace your emotions and transform heartache into strength. Let's get started and explore how to break the cycle once and for all. Number 1. Accept your emotions without judgment. Experiencing heartache is a deeply human experience, and it's natural to feel pain when a relationship ends or when something goes wrong in a personal connection. Heartache often brings about a storm of emotions: sadness, anger, confusion, even guilt that can feel overwhelming. However, one of the most powerful ways to break the cycle of heartache is to accept your emotions without judgment. Many people, when faced with emotional pain, tend to push their feelings away or try to distract themselves from what they're feeling. Society often encourages us to move on quickly or to get over it, But this can create a dangerous cycle of suppressing emotions rather than confronting them. However, as counterintuitive as it may sound, acknowledging and accepting your emotions is the first step to healing. When we experience emotional pain, we sometimes think that the best way to deal with it is to bottle it up. We might think, I should be strong, or I shouldn't feel this way. However, these thoughts only lead to a build-up of emotions that eventually explode in unhealthy ways. Instead of suppressing your emotions, it's important to let them surface. Feel your emotions fully. Cry when you need to. Feel the frustration. Let yourself be sad. Allowing these emotions to exist is part of the healing process. The ancient Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." What Seneca was getting at is that often the anticipation of pain, the fear of heartbreak, and the stories we tell ourselves in our minds make the actual experience far more overwhelming than it needs to be. When we constantly avoid or ignore our emotions, we feed into these imagined fears. By facing our feelings head-on, we stop the mental spiral and begin to experience emotional release. Acknowledging your emotions is not about staying stuck in them. It's about recognizing and allowing them to pass through you. For example, if you're feeling sadness, don't try to push it away. Let it in, sit with it, and understand that it will eventually dissipate. This may seem hard at first, but once you allow your emotions to run their course, you'll find that they no longer have the same power over you. Heartache is temporary. Though it might feel all-consuming at the moment, it won't last forever. The more you resist or fight your emotions, the longer they'll stick around. Another important aspect of accepting your emotions is avoiding self-judgment. It's easy to criticize ourselves for feeling weak or vulnerable after a difficult experience. However, it's important to remember that feeling heartache is part of being human. Emotions are a natural response to our life experiences, and they're not a reflection of weakness or failure. Being kind to yourself is an essential part of the healing journey. When we accept our emotions, we create space for growth and healing. Instead of staying stuck in the pain, we allow ourselves to process it. And when we allow ourselves to feel, we begin to move through the pain and emerge stronger on the other side. The process is not always quick, but it's necessary. In time, heartache will fade, leaving you with the lessons you've learned and the strength you've gained. So, take a moment to honor where you are emotionally. Allow your heart to heal by accepting what you're feeling, without judgment. Remember, emotional pain is part of life, and through acceptance, you will find the path toward peace. Number 2. Shift your focus from the past to the present. When heartache strikes, it's all too easy to become anchored in the past. We replay old conversations, relive the moments of pain, and replay scenarios over and over in our minds. This cycle of rumination keeps us stuck, unable to heal and move forward. The past can often feel like a weight we carry with us, constantly reminding us of the mistakes or heartbreak we've experienced. However, true healing begins when we shift our focus from what has already happened to what we can do in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." This means that while we can't change the past or control what others do, we do have control over how we respond in the here and now. Instead of getting lost in what went wrong, we can redirect our energy to what we can influence today. By focusing on the present, we free ourselves from the heavy burden of the past. The heartache you're feeling right now is real, but it doesn't have to define your entire future. While memories and regrets may surface, allow yourself to acknowledge them, and then gently shift your attention to the present moment. Ask yourself, what can I do today to begin healing? Perhaps it's taking a walk, journalism your feelings, or practicing self-care. These small actions remind us that healing is a process that starts now, not in the past. When we focus on the present, we regain our power. The past may have shaped us, but it doesn't dictate who we are or what we can become. Let go of the weight of yesterday's heartache and take control of your emotional healing in the now. Number 3. Embrace the power of letting go. Letting go is one of the most challenging yet essential steps in the healing process. Whether it's a person, a past argument, or even a version of yourself that no longer aligns with who you want to be, holding on to what no longer serves you can keep you anchored in pain. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the hurt. It means freeing yourself from the emotional baggage that weighs you down, allowing you to move forward with clarity and peace. The pain of holding on can be far more damaging than the act of letting go. We often convince ourselves that if we keep clinging to the past, be it a relationship that ended, an unresolved conflict, or even mistakes we've made, we can somehow fix things or undo the hurt. But the truth is, the more tightly we hold on to these things, the more we prolong our suffering. We trap ourselves in an emotional loop, constantly rehashing what's already gone. Letting go is not about weakness, but rather about strength and self-preservation. It's a powerful choice to release the hold that past wounds have on you. It's a decision to stop letting the emotional weight of someone or something dictate your present and future happiness. For example, if you're holding on to resentment from a past relationship, it's essential to recognize that this anger or regret isn't harming the other person, it's hurting you. By releasing these negative emotions, you allow yourself to heal and make space for new experiences and healthier relationships. Letting go requires forgiveness, both for others and for yourself. It's about accepting that certain things are beyond your control and that ultimately you deserve peace. Freeing yourself from emotional baggage allows you to move forward, lightened, empowered, and open to new possibilities. Remember, by letting go, you're not forgetting the lessons learned, but you're giving yourself permission to heal and grow. Number 4, stop blaming yourself or others. When heartache strikes, it's common to fall into the trap of blaming either yourself or others. The emotional pain often creates a desperate need for answers, and in that search for clarity, it's easy to point fingers. We blame ourselves for not doing enough, for saying the wrong thing, or for not seeing the red flags. Alternatively, we blame others, convinced that if they had acted differently, the hurt wouldn't have happened. But this cycle of blame only keeps us trapped in negativity and prevents healing. The reality is that relationships are complex, and there are often no simple, clear-cut answers. People's actions are shaped by their own experiences, emotions, and choices, just as yours are. When heartache occurs, it's usually a combination of factors: miscommunication, unmet needs, or external pressures that contribute to the situation. Holding on to blame creates a toxic environment for emotional healing where nothing gets resolved, but the hurt intensifies. Blaming yourself can lead to feelings of guilt, shame, and self-doubt. It traps you in a mindset where you believe you are the cause of the pain. However, it's important to realize that nobody is perfect, and making mistakes is part of being human. You can learn from those mistakes, grow, and move forward. But self-blame will only keep you stuck in a cycle of self-punishment that hinders your emotional growth. Blaming others can be just as harmful. While it's true that other people's actions may have hurt you, holding on to anger or resentment towards them doesn't serve your healing. When you focus on what someone else did wrong, you give away your emotional power. It's important to acknowledge the hurt caused, but instead of holding on to blame, shift towards understanding. People act based on their own perceptions, limitations, and experiences, and they too may be carrying their own emotional baggage. The key to breaking free from this cycle of blame is to shift from focusing on fault to focusing on understanding and growth. Reflect on the situation, not as a right or wrong scenario, but as a learning opportunity. What lessons can you take from the experience? What can you do differently in future relationships? And how can you grow emotionally from this challenge? Letting go of blame frees you from the emotional burden it creates and allows you to move forward with greater clarity, compassion, and self-awareness. In doing so, you're not excusing anyone's actions, but you're choosing to release the hold that blame has over your emotional well-being. This shift empowers you to heal and grow from the experience, rather than allowing it to define you. Number 5. Allow yourself to heal at your own pace. Healing from heartache is a deeply personal journey, one that doesn't follow a set timeline. When we experience emotional pain, especially after a difficult breakup or loss, we often feel pressured to move on quickly, either by others or even by our own internal expectations. Society sometimes places unrealistic timelines on recovery, with phrases like, "It's been long enough, you should be over it by now." But healing isn't a race, and there's no right or wrong speed when it comes to processing pain. It's crucial to allow yourself to heal at your own pace, even if it feels like others are moving on faster than you. The comparison game is a dangerous trap to fall into. When we look at how quickly others seem to bounce back, we may begin to feel like we're failing at healing. However, the reality is that everyone processes emotions differently. Your pain, your healing, and your timeline are unique to you, and that's perfectly okay. Don't rush yourself into feeling better. Sometimes we want to skip over the discomfort of heartache and jump straight to feeling whole again. But true healing requires patience, self-compassion, and understanding that it's okay to have bad days. There may be days when you feel like you've made progress, only to find yourself unexpectedly overwhelmed with sadness, and that's normal. Healing isn't linear, and it's okay to have ups and downs throughout the process. Give yourself permission to feel your emotions fully, without judgment. Allow yourself to take the time you need to process your feelings, whether it takes weeks, months, or even longer. Pushing yourself to get over it before you're ready can delay true emotional recovery. Trust that, as long as you're gentle with yourself and stay committed to your emotional well-being, you will heal in your own time. Everyone heals differently. There is no rush. What matters is that you honor your emotional journey and give yourself the grace to heal at your pace. Number 6. Surround yourself with supportive people. When heartache strikes, one of the most important things you can do is lean on the people who care about you. It's easy to isolate yourself during emotional pain, to retreat into your own thoughts, and to feel like no one understands what you're going through. But the truth is, we don't have to carry the weight of heartache alone. Surrounding yourself with supportive friends, family, or a support group can provide the comfort, reassurance, and perspective you need during such a vulnerable time. These people can remind you that you're not alone and that your pain is valid. Sometimes, just having someone listen to you without judgment can be an incredibly healing experience. The simple act of sharing your feelings with someone who truly cares can relieve some of the emotional burden you carry. Supportive people can also offer perspective. When you're immersed in the pain of heartache, it's easy to feel like you're stuck in a never-ending cycle. But those who care about you can help you see beyond the current moment. They can offer wisdom, remind you of your strengths, and help you recognize the lessons in the experience. Sometimes they can even help you laugh, which is a reminder that joy still exists even in the darkest of times. Heartache can make us feel vulnerable and exposed, but by reaching out to others, we break the isolation that often accompanies it. Leaning on others doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. It's a sign of strength to allow others to help lift you up. By embracing the support of a caring network, you not only ease your emotional burden, but also reinforce the connections that are essential for healing. In the end, you don't have to heal alone. The people who truly care about you want to be there for you, and allowing them in can make all the difference as you work through the pain of heartache. Number 7. Engage in activities that promote emotional growth. Heartache can feel like a heavy burden, but it can also be an opportunity for profound emotional growth. Rather than letting pain consume you, take this time to invest in activities that foster your emotional development. By engaging in practices that help you understand yourself better, you can transform the pain into a source of strength and resilience. One way to begin this process is by reading self-help books. Books that explore emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and healing can provide valuable insights, helping you understand your feelings and reactions. They can also offer practical tools to manage emotional turmoil, so you can process your heartache in a healthy way. In particular, reading about others who have navigated similar challenges can remind you that you are not alone in your struggles. Journalism is another powerful tool for emotional growth. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can provide a safe space for self-reflection. It allows you to process the emotions swirling inside you, putting your heartache into words and making sense of it. Sometimes, seeing your thoughts on paper gives you clarity and perspective that might have been hard to find while carrying everything inside. Additionally, practicing mindfulness, whether through meditation, deep breathing exercises, or yoga, can help you stay grounded in the present moment. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing you to experience them without becoming overwhelmed. By cultivating mindfulness, you can learn to manage emotional pain with grace, allowing it to pass through you rather than controlling you. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, famously believed that challenges should make us better, not bitter. Heartache is undoubtedly a challenge, but it can also be a catalyst for personal growth. By engaging in activities that promote emotional development, you can emerge from the experience stronger, wiser, and more compassionate towards yourself and others. Embrace this opportunity to grow emotionally and use it to build a more resilient version of yourself. Conclusion. Heartache is one of the most challenging experiences we face as human beings, but it can also be an opportunity for deep emotional growth and transformation. By accepting your emotions, shifting your focus to the present, letting go of what no longer serves you, and surrounding yourself with supportive people, you can break free from the cycle of heartache and begin to heal. Remember, healing is a personal journey, and there's no right or wrong pace. Take your time, be kind to yourself, and embrace the lessons that come with this challenge. If you like this channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.